Our topic, sleep, proudly presents. You will never find peace of mind until you listen to your heart. George Michael. Welcome. Rest your head on the pillow, close your eyes, and leave this day behind. Let your mind relax, let your heart grow lighter. Tonight, our topic is inner peace.
There are times when life becomes too heavy to carry. Times when the world feels too loud, people feel too distant, and even your own mind becomes a battlefield. Moments when you find yourself lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, asking questions you can't answer. What happened to me? Why do I feel so tired, so restless, so lost? You might look around and everything may seem normal, even good from the outside. But something deep within you feels off, like a subtle but persistent pain, unspoken, unheard, unnamed. That's how inner peace disappears, not with a sudden noise, but like a slow fading of a familiar song you once loved. Inner peace is not just a poetic concept. It is a state of being that makes life livable. It is the quiet space inside you that doesn't depend on external conditions. It is what allows you to sit with yourself without needing to escape. And when that peace is gone, even the smallest discomfort grows louder. You start reacting instead of responding. You avoid being alone with yourself. You fill your days with noise, tasks, people, but still feel empty. That emptiness is not from a lack of things, but from a loss of connection with yourself. We lose inner peace for many reasons. Sometimes it's a trauma we haven't processed. Sometimes it's a heartbreak we haven't fully grieved. Other times it's the endless chase, success, money, approval, attention, that wears us down without even realizing it. We rush from task to task, convinced that productivity equals worth, that busyness equals value. We suppress our emotions to function, smile when we want to scream, keep going when we need to stop. Over time, this disconnection from our authentic self becomes unbearable. And that's when the cracks begin to show. Another reason we lose our inner peace is comparison. The modern world constantly bombards us with curated lives, perfect moments, flawless faces. Social media feeds us images of people who seem happier, richer, healthier, more fulfilled. Even when we know it's filtered and edited, our minds internalize these comparisons. We begin to feel less attractive, less successful, less worthy. This silent competition creates tension within, and peace cannot survive where there's constant pressure to measure up. Guilt and regret also rob us of peace. The things we didn't do, the words we didn't say, the people we hurt, or who hurt us, we carry these memories like invisible weights. Some nights we replay them over and over, like a punishment we think we deserve. We believe we must suffer for our past mistakes, and this belief becomes a prison. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, seems impossible. And without forgiveness, peace has no soil to grow in. Moreover, fear controls our minds. Fear of being alone, fear of not being good enough, fear of failure, fear of being judged. These fears drive us to make choices that betray our values. We say yes when we want to say no. We stay in places, jobs, relationships that make us unhappy simply because change feels terrifying. We silence ourselves to maintain harmony, and in doing so, we lose the harmony within. Fear fragments the soul, and a fragmented soul cannot rest. One of the most dangerous contributors to the loss of peace is disconnection from the present. We live in the past or the future. We dwell on what happened or worry about what might happen. But the present moment, the only moment we actually live in, is neglected. We become time travelers in our own lives, visiting everywhere but here. And in that absence, anxiety thrives. Peace only exists in the now. But the now is often filled with noise, urgency, deadlines, and unresolved feelings. And then, there is the constant pressure to be strong. Society praises resilience, perseverance, toughness. Vulnerability is often seen as weakness. So we hide our struggles. We pretend we're fine. We say I'm okay when we're breaking inside. This mask exhausts us. Peace requires authenticity. And authenticity demands courage. When we are not allowed to be human, when we're not given space to feel, to break, to pause, we lose our humanity, and with it, our peace. Sometimes the loss of peace comes from external chaos, financial struggles, family conflicts, health issues, or unexpected changes. But often, it's the internal chaos that haunts us most. The overthinking, the self-doubt, the suppressed emotions, the unresolved wounds. We carry them inside like quiet storms. And no matter how calm the outside world looks, we remain unsettled within. This lack of peace affects everything: how we sleep, how we eat, how we relate to others, how we see ourselves. We become reactive, irritable, numb. Our relationships suffer. Our work loses meaning. We smile less, sigh more. We try to control things, hoping control will bring safety. But control is not peace. Control is fear in disguise. The saddest part is that we begin to believe that this restlessness is permanent. That this is just life now. We forget that peace is our birthright. That it's possible to feel grounded, safe, whole. But the truth is, we can return. No matter how far we've drifted, the way back always exists. Inner peace is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And it's not something we find outside. It's something we rebuild, inside, gently, patiently, one breath at a time. Reclaiming inner peace is not about escaping life, it's about embracing it with a new perspective. It's not about controlling every outcome, but about learning to breathe even when the future is uncertain. True peace does not mean the absence of difficulty. It means having a quiet space within, even in the middle of chaos. And that peace is not something others give us, it's something we cultivate ourselves. It begins with awareness. We cannot fix what we refuse to see. So, the first step is to pause and listen to ourselves, honestly and without judgment. Start by acknowledging where you are. Not where you wish you were, not where others think you should be, just here. Now. In this moment. Allow yourself to be human. Allow yourself to feel. There is no shame in being tired, overwhelmed, or afraid. These emotions don't make you weak, they make you real. And peace begins where resistance ends. The more you fight your feelings, the louder they get. But when you meet them with compassion, they soften. Self-compassion is the soil in which peace can grow. To restore inner peace, slow down. Truly slow down. Life will always be full of noise, but we can choose not to absorb it. Create quiet pockets in your day. Even 5 minutes of stillness can reset your nervous system. Sit in silence, Feel your breath. Place a hand on your chest and simply exist. You don't need to fix anything in that moment. Just be. Just breathe. Inhale presence. Exhale tension. This is not indulgent, it's healing. Reconnect with your values. Ask yourself what truly matters to you, not what impresses others, not what society expects, but what feels honest in your bones. Peace comes from alignment. When our actions match our inner truth, we feel whole. Start saying no when you mean no. Stop explaining your worth. Begin showing up for yourself, even in small ways. Protect your energy the way you protect someone you love. Because you are someone worth protecting. Practice gratitude, but not as a performance. Let it be real. Notice the ordinary moments, the way sunlight hits your window, the comfort of warm tea, the sound of a loved one's voice. These are not small things. They are anchors. When you focus on what's working, your mind begins to calm. Gratitude brings you back to the present. And peace lives in presence. Let go of perfection. It's a myth that causes suffering. You do not need to be perfect to be worthy of rest. You do not need to have it all figured out to deserve peace. Your flaws do not disqualify you. In fact, they make you beautifully human. Embrace your imperfections. Laugh at your mistakes. Learn from them, but do not punish yourself. Every scar tells a story, not of failure, but of growth. Surround yourself with calm. This doesn't mean cutting everyone off, but becoming mindful of what and who you allow into your space. Some relationships drain peace. Others restore it. Choose carefully. Peace is contagious. Spend time with people who make you feel safe, not judged. Who listen more than they speak. Who don't rush you to be okay, but sit with you while you're not. These are the people who help you heal. Forgive. Not for them, for you. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing. It means choosing freedom over bitterness. It means releasing yourself from the grip of the past. Begin with yourself. Speak gently to the parts of you that are still hurting. Say, you did the best you could. That's often the truth. That's often enough. Rebuild your rituals. Small habits create big change. Begin your day with intention. Before reaching for your phone, reach for your breath. Write a few words in a journal. Stretch. Listen to soft music. Drink water slowly. End your day with peace too. Dim the lights, put your devices away, and reflect. Ask yourself, what brought me peace today? Over time, these moments become your foundation. Engage in activities that reconnect you with your body. Inner peace is not just a mental state, it's physical. Go for walks in nature. Move without judgment. Dance. Breathe deeply. Eat with mindfulness. Sleep with care. Your body is not a machine, it's your home. When you treat it with kindness, your soul feels safe inside it. Reclaiming peace also means redefining success. Instead of measuring life by how much you achieve, measure it by how you feel while achieving. Success without peace is a form of failure. Ask yourself often, is this costing me my peace? If the answer is yes, it may not be worth it. Your peace is a non-negotiable. Treat it as such. Finally, remember this: inner peace is not a destination, it's a practice. Some days you will feel balanced. Other days you won't. That's okay. Peace is not permanent, it's fluid. It requires tending. You will need to return to it over and over. Through breath. Through boundaries. Through honesty. Through love. And the more you return, the easier it becomes. You are not broken. You are becoming. This journey back to yourself is sacred. Be patient. Be kind. Healing is not a straight line. But every moment of stillness, every deep breath, every step toward your truth brings you closer. You deserve to feel safe within yourself. You deserve to feel whole. And no matter how far you've drifted, the path to peace is always within reach, waiting quietly for you to come home. Inner peace is not a fixed point on a map, it's a way of walking through life. It's not something you achieve once and keep forever, it's something you choose, over and over, in the small moments. You choose peace when you take a breath instead of reacting. When you offer yourself kindness instead of criticism. When you stay grounded in the present instead of drowning in what-ifs. The beauty of inner peace is that it does not demand perfection, it only asks for presence. Each moment is an invitation to return to yourself. You don't need ideal conditions. You don't need a silent forest, a perfect relationship, or a life without hardship. What you need is willingness, the willingness to turn inward and listen, even when it's uncomfortable. Begin by simplifying. The more we clutter our lives, with things, with obligations, with distractions, the harder it becomes to hear our own inner voice. Simplicity is not about living with less for the sake of appearance, it's about clearing space for what matters. Look around your life and ask, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? It could be an outdated belief, a toxic habit, or even a goal that doesn't align with your heart anymore. Letting go creates space for peace to enter. Rest is another forgotten door to inner peace. We live in a culture that glorifies exhaustion and measures worth by productivity. But your soul does not thrive in overdrive. Rest is not laziness. Rest is wisdom. It's what allows you to return to the world with clarity and strength. Prioritize rest as you would any sacred ritual. Nap if you're tired. Close your eyes for 5 minutes in the middle of the day. Breathe deeply, not to accomplish something, but to simply be. In that space of stillness, your nervous system begins to recalibrate. Your mind quiets. Your heart speaks. Learn the art of gentle boundaries. Many of us confuse kindness with self-sacrifice, thinking that to be good, we must always say yes. But real kindness includes yourself. Peace cannot coexist with chronic people-pleasing. You were not meant to abandon yourself for others. It's okay to say no. It's okay to step back. It's okay to disappoint someone in order to stay true to yourself. Boundaries are not barriers, they are bridges to peace. They protect the space where your soul can breathe. Cultivate your inner landscape. Just as we tend to a garden, watering, pruning, protecting from weeds, we must care for our inner world. What are you feeding your mind? What thoughts do you allow to grow unchecked? Notice the narrative you carry about yourself. Is it filled with shame, pressure, or fear? Or is it rooted in acceptance and hope? Replace criticism with curiosity. Instead of saying, "I failed," ask, "What can I learn?" Growth begins in the soil of self-compassion. Develop rituals of peace. These are not grand gestures, but small consistent acts that ground you. Perhaps it's lighting a candle in the evening, or writing down one sentence you're grateful for each night. Maybe it's walking barefoot on grass, or drinking tea slowly without your phone. These tiny rituals become anchors. They remind your nervous system, you are safe now. They bring you back from the storm. Surround yourself with honesty. Not just with others, but with yourself. Inner peace can't exist where we pretend. It thrives in spaces where we can say, "I'm not okay today," without shame. When you're honest with yourself, you stop wasting energy maintaining a mask. You begin to understand what you actually need, not what looks good on paper, but what feeds your spirit. Honesty creates clarity. Clarity creates peace. Welcome solitude. Not loneliness, but chosen solitude. Time alone can be one of the most healing experiences if you allow it to be. It's where you meet yourself without distraction. It's where your truth rises to the surface. Don't be afraid of the quiet. That silence holds messages your busy life drowns out. Sit with yourself, not to judge, but to understand. Ask, "What have I been avoiding?" Then listen, without rushing to fix it. Practice emotional hygiene. Just as you wash your body daily, take time to cleanse your emotional self. Carrying resentment, guilt, or suppressed emotions is like wearing dirty clothes on clean skin. It affects everything. Find ways to express what you feel. Talk. Cry. Move. Write. Your emotions are valid signals, not inconveniences. When you honor them, they soften. When you ignore them, they demand your attention louder and louder. Peace flows through emotional clarity. Trust the process. Healing doesn't follow a timeline. Some days will feel light. Others will feel heavy for no clear reason. Let it be. You are not falling behind. You are not broken for having setbacks. Growth is not linear. Peace grows quietly, often underground, in moments you barely notice. Then, one day, you'll realize that what once triggered you deeply now passes through you with less weight. That's peace making a home in you. Reconnect with awe. In our fast-paced lives, we forget how miraculous the ordinary is. Look up at the sky. Watch a bird in flight. Feel the rain on your skin. Let yourself be moved by life again. Awe expands your heart. It reminds you that you're part of something larger, and in that reminder, the noise of fear shrinks. Awe brings peace because it lifts us out of ourselves, not through escape, but through connection. Speak kindly to yourself. The inner critic will always have something to say, but you don't have to believe it. You can interrupt the cycle. When that voice says, "You're not enough," you can say, "I am learning." When it says, "You always mess things up," you can respond, "I'm doing my best, and that's okay." Kindness is not a weakness, it's a strength. It's what allows you to keep going when life is hard. Notice your breath. It is the simplest, most immediate doorway back to the present. You don't need a meditation app. You don't need a perfect posture. Just pause and notice. Inhale. Exhale. That breath is life moving through you. That breath is proof you're still here. And as long as you're here, peace is possible. Learn to forgive again and again, especially yourself. You will make mistakes. You will say things you regret. You will fall short of your own ideals. That's part of being human. Peace comes when we stop trying to rewrite the past and start accepting it. Not because it was okay, but because carrying it forever steals our light. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks your prison. Every time you forgive, you reclaim your peace. Be patient with this process. Don't rush your healing. Don't compare your journey. Someone else's calm exterior may hide an inner storm. Your only task is to honor your own pace. There is no shame in starting over. There is no weakness in asking for help. There is no deadline for becoming whole. Peace may not always look the way you expect. Sometimes it looks like tears in the dark, finally released after years of holding them in. Sometimes it looks like walking away from something you thought you needed. Sometimes it looks like laughter returning when you least expect it. Peace is not always pretty, but it is always true. So keep returning to your breath, to your values, to your truth. Keep choosing rest over rush, presence over performance, honesty over perfection, kindness over criticism. And every time you choose peace, even for a second, you are building a new foundation. A home within yourself. One that no storm can take away. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not behind. The path to peace is not outside you, it is within you. And it begins the moment you remember you deserve it. Not because you've earned it, but because you're alive. And that alone is enough.
If tonight brought you a moment of peace, you can gift that feeling to others too. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Who knows, maybe the next sleep topic will come from you.